Good morning. Happy Tuesday. So, have you already hit a bump in the road? Has there already been something that kind of maybe threw you a little bit off course? If not, probably there will be by the end of the week, right? That's kind of how life goes. So, what happens then? So, what do you do? What do you do when the first bump comes? You get all excited, you got all your goals ready, you got everything ready to go, and then the first bump happens. What do? Well, remember that questions decide where we focus on, and focus decides how we feel. Where focus goes, energy flows. And where we focus on is going to decide our emotional response to that particular event. And that emotional response is, of course, how we feel. So the questions that we ask are going to direct that. Questions are how we think. And the reason that you can know that's true is because you just asked yourself a question right now. Is he right? Is he right about that? Is he right that questions are how we think? And they are. When we are thinking, we ask ourselves a question. What does this mean? Why does this always happen to me? Things like that. So when the bump in the road comes, and it will, right? There's going to be all kinds of bumps in the road. That's what life is about. Life is about growing. Life is about evolving. And that means that you're going to have problems. Problems equal solutions. Solutions equal change. Change equals more problems. So what you want is a better quality of problem, as we've talked about. But when the bump comes, where you start is the questions that you ask. And you can ask disempowering questions. Coffee's done. You can ask disempowering questions like, why does this always happen to me? Why did this person do this? Why, how come I can't ever figure this out? How come I can't ever lose weight? Remember, whatever question you ask, that reticular activating system in your brain is going to kick in and your brain's going to give yourself an answer. So if you ask a question like, how come I can never lose weight? Your brain's going to give you an answer. Well, because you're a pig. If you ask yourself a better question like, how can I lose weight and enjoy the process? Now you're going to get a different answer. Now you're going to get a better answer. So when the bump comes, whatever it may be, you can ask yourself a disempowering question like, why does this always happen to me? Or why did this person do this? Which we can't control what other people are going to do. We can only control our response to it. We can never control what happens. That's one of the things that achievers struggle with the most, is they want to control events. We can't control events. We can manipulate, we can influence, we can do a lot of different things, but we cannot control events. What we can control is our response to the events. So when we do that, asking questions is the way to start about going in terms of doing that. So when you ask a question like, what about this is, what can I learn about this? What's exciting about this? What's great about this that I haven't thought of yet? What's not quite perfect yet? What's not quite great yet? See, these are the last questions that'll presuppose that there's something perfect out of this, that there's something great out of this. What's a positive lesson out of this that I haven't thought of yet? What's a response that I could have that will help the situation? What am I grateful for? Who do I love? Who loves me? Okay, when you ask questions like that, you're going to get a much better response because you're going to feel significantly differently about the event than if you ask disempowering questions. And by the way, if you start doing this on a regular basis, it's going to become habitual, which means it's going to become part of your nervous system, which means you're not going to have to think about it down the road. But initially, you're going to have to think about it. My old adage of getting that merry-go-round going, when you first start, it takes a lot to do that. But once you get it going, you can sit there with one hand and you can get it going by yourself without any troubles. So when the bump comes, and they will, ask empowering questions. What can I learn from here? What's great about this? What's funny about this that I haven't thought of yet? What's a great lesson that I can learn from this? How can I use this? What am I grateful for? Who do I love and who loves me? Ask empowering questions. You're going to start getting empowering answers, and your feelings towards these events are going to be completely different. If an event happens and it's bad, and your question is, how can I learn from this and move forward? What's not perfect yet about this? How can I make this great? That's going to create a whole different emotional response and therefore a physical response than why does this always happen to me? So have the questions ready. When the bump comes, control yourself and focus on the questions. Ask the empowering questions. Get the empowering answers, and then you can move forward from there. It's going to give you a whole different response, which is going to give you a whole different life. And as I said, it won't be long, and these will become habitual, and you won't have to think about it. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.